You guys, every time. Welcome. We're recording day 5. We're going to be talking about how this coach made a successful transition into her coaching business from her 9-to-5 job, which we all know is never a 9-to-5, right? Her full-time job, let's put it like that. And she's, had so much success. She's had 14K back-to-back months. She's had a 25K month. And we're going to pick her brain and figure out how'd you do that. So I'm encouraging people to ask questions in the chat. And I also have come with my set of questions. So was just saying before I hit record, I'm going to announce the winner of the Full Focus Planner tonight. It's the golden standard of planners. And you just have to be here live. So when I make the announcement, you just got to be here to be able to receive that gift and be participating, right? We got to know who's here. So, with that in mind, drop some emojis, drop me how you're feeling tonight, just so we can kind of track who's here. And then we've done our drawing. We already know who the winner is. And as long as you're here with us live, we will be announcing the winner of the Full Focus Planner tonight. And we'll be sending it out to you. And you will love it. And it's perfect timing because we're coming upon Q2, April 1st, April, May, June. So the Full Focus Planner is meant to be used in quarters, quarter by quarter. I just ordered mine. I've got my blank copy. I send all my clients a Full Focus Planner. And we'll be getting into Q2 planning soon. So you will get a ton of use out of it. I also want to say congratulations to all of our workshop corporate to coach renegades who have already booked their discovery calls with us. We've been connecting with you guys, talking with you guys all throughout the week so far. And we still have more calls booked on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday, and even on Tuesday, because the deadline for the workshop bonus bundle is actually Tuesday of this upcoming week on March 19th, Tuesday, March 19th at midnight. That's the deadline for the bootcamp bonus bundle. So what does that mean for you? That if you want to be in the running for the bootcamp bonus bundle, you need to book your discovery call and join the academy by that time. So I want to say congratulations to the people who we've already connected with, and it has just been a blast. Welcome, dear Carol. Welcome. Lovely to have you with us. I see many more coming into my inbox, and it's just it's been a blast. We like connecting with you guys, human to human, face to face, voice to voice. As a reminder, and this is my last reminder before I bring on Bethany, the superstar Bethany, the last reminder here on the bootcamp bonus bundle. And I'm doing this thing where I scroll really furiously on my website page to find what I'm looking for. And I'm purposely only sharing my screen now so you guys don't get dizzy. Here it is. You'll recognize this. For those of you who are visual learners, as I am, here it is. So what do you need to do to get this bootcamp bonus bundle? Well, the first step is to book your discovery call. So if Tabitha and Heather could drop the link, the simple link for people to book the call. And then if Tabitha and Heather could please drop the simple link for people to check out the academy, you just need to book the call. And then that's the first step. And then if you decide to join the academy by Tuesday, you will receive this bonus bundle. And it's only good through Tuesday. Bonus 1 is 1,000 to 3,000 off. Bonus 2, this is the one people are kind of vying for. And with the conversations we've had so far, I know there's been people that are kind of looking to see if those first 5 have all been filled up yet, and we still have room for this bonus here, Bootcamp Bonus 2, a 60-minute private strategy session with me for 1,500. Again, perfect timing. We're coming upon Q2. I could literally, if you wanted to, roll out a blueprint for your entire quarter coming up with you. I mean, this is going to kind of depend on what you want me to cover with you. I'm going to give you a form to fill out before we have our private call. And it's going to depend partially on what you want to cover. We might cover cash injection strategies. We might dive into your niche. We might draw out a 30-day plan. We might draw out a 30, 60, 90 plan. I'm going to kind of dig into with you. This is highly customized, what you want to cover with me. You'll also get a 60-minute deep dive training session with our social selling expert. I told you guys, if you don't learn how to social sell in 2024, it will be a painful outreach experience for you. You don't want to be one of those type of outreach people that are salesy, icky, and kind of an all around, just not a pleasure. So, the opposite of that is learning how to social sell, which is learning how to build relationships, nurture relationships, humanize. We're humans, conversations with people via the DM. Bonus 3, LinkedIn and Facebook profile audit. Why am I doing that? It's because I need to help you optimize your social media platform to attract more clients. What's the first thing you do when somebody sends you a message or somebody posts something amazing on social media? You click on their profile. If you click on their profile and you have no idea what they do, who they help, how to get a hold of them, how you'd work with them, you've lost that person who was genuinely interested in you. So I'm going to help you optimize that. Bonus 4 is a 30-day Voxer access to me. I call it Coach in a Pocket, like an elf on a shelf. I'm your coach in a pocket for 30 days. It's me. You can ask me any and all questions. And those are, to me, kind of fun. I get people reaching out like, Betty, I got a discovery call tomorrow. I need your help, or I have a question. And to me, it's all kinds of fun. And it's very important to me when you first join a program that you don't feel kind of left in the dust. Like, where is everyone, right? I'm going to be right there with you. So that's only for our people that get our bonus here, valued at $2,000. And if you pay in full, you get a half a day live cash injection workshop. Ticket valued at $1,000. I should probably value it at much more than that, to be honest, because all it takes is for you to make one sale, which you will make numerous sales if you actually implement what you learn. So I should probably mental note noted to myself, up that value. But for now, we're valuing this at $8,600 worth of bonuses. So that is my TED Talk for you before we get going. All right. Welcome, Layla. Welcome, Jason. All right, you guys. So that is it. At this moment in time, I am going to bring up the amazing Bethany, Coach Bethany, here with us, my former client, coach extraordinaire, the one, the only. Give her some fireworks or confetti. And now let's do the fireworks. How totally extravagant can I be upon your introduction, Bethany?
This
Welcome.
is really epic. This feels like the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. I hope I can live up to this.
I'm passing you the torch. I love that so much. And welcome back, Bethany, who just told me that she had an amazing trip abroad and she feels refreshed and zen, and she's still back here with us to talk coaching. The beauty of being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I love it.
Well
so
said.
welcome, Bethany. Just so excited to have you here with us today. As I've kind of mentioned before, this workshop is corporate to coach transition blueprint. That's kind of what we've been working on with everybody all week. So maybe if you could share first with the group about your previous full-time gig prior to moving into coaching, simply so people can kind of get a handle on, they're in their full-time gig, you were in yours. What did that look like before you made the jump?
Yep. So for 12 years, I worked in international development, and specifically what I was doing is I was working with US government funds. I worked for the contractor, not the government, to do HIV prevention projects in developing countries in Africa and Latin America mostly. So lots of travel, working across crazy amounts of time zones. And you can imagine how insane things were during COVID. So
I
Go on
can
and on.
only imagine for you how insane things were at that time. And not to mention just in general, I remember you talking about, that particular role. When it's an international role, you're dealing with people in all different time zones, and you're kind of juggling all these things. I mean, I don't even know what time in the night. I don't know if I want to know you were getting calls or emails or all that kind of thing, but it was a lot.
Around the clock. Around the
It was
clock.
a lot, regardless to say. Let's talk about, would you share with these guys your current coaching title and niche? Would you
Yeah.
share with these guys your current coaching title and niche?
So I help women leaders in international development manage high workload and set healthy boundaries so they can get their nights and weekends back. And
So good.
that's the
Yes.
niche that's on my website. But interestingly, the biggest corporate contract I have right now is coaching women leaders in biotech, who also
Oh,
work across a lot of time zones. So even though I've set a
oh,
niche, I have a very lucrative business of people who are a little outside that niche. And that's
yeah.
also really interesting too.
And actually, I hope that, what do I want to say about that? That sets some of y'all at ease. That people get in their head about this niche thing, like, oh, I got to pick, and it's got to be the right pick. And then I got to say no to everybody else who comes my way. You don't. It's your business. You're the entrepreneur. You can still pick a niche to get started and to have people attracted to you, and then an amazing opportunity comes along. And if it feels good and like the right fit, you're like, why wouldn't I? Does that sound about right?
Mm.
Yeah. And you were talking about coaching women leaders in biotech. Did you say they were international women leaders?
They are based in the US
Yeah.
and all over the world, mainly Latin America and Europe, but all of them have colleagues that are in different countries and time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I hope you don't mind, Bethany, and please correct me if I'm off on any of what I'm kind of trying to pick up the nuggets and
Yeah.
piece them out to everybody of kind of some of the stuff you're sharing that I want these guys to take away. One, when you're choosing your niche, or you're kind of keeping your eyeballs open about who's going to come potentially work with you, don't shy away from your current network, your current industry. Bethany worked international. And so, of course, it would make sense for other women working in an international capacity that are struggling with the same urgent pain points that the former self of Bethany was struggling with, are going to come to her and say, yeah, I would like coaching on this thing that you also went through. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fair.
And coaching women leaders in biotech too, again, there's a lot of alignment there with you coaching executive, say again, your initial niche.
I coach women leaders working in international
Yeah.
development to manage high workload and set boundaries.
Yeah. Setting boundaries, high workload. I mean, hello, this current big package that you have, biotech. I mean, again, that's a big, important, I can only imagine like the boundaries and the working late and the working nights. So it all kind of makes sense together. So
Yeah.
I think, I hope that's one of the first takeaways, because I know some people are nervous about the niche. It's okay to, you just want to start somewhere. If Bethany would have kicked off and just said, life coach,
Mhm.
coach anybody, anything, it wouldn't have had the same oomph with this big package coming her way. You know what I'm saying? And also for those of you kind of like, oh, do I do B2C, where clients are paying me? Do I do B2B where the companies hire me? You can do both.
I do both. Yeah. It's
Right.
great. It's
You
great.
can do both. There's no rule. Why wouldn't you do both? What's nice is the B2C happens more rapidly.
Mhm.
You get people that come right to you and hire you right away. That's when you were having these months. And then the B2B are these massive financial packages. It just might take a little longer to roll in and to nurture that relationship unless they're already in your network. Does that sound right?
Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, next question. What inspired you to leave your full-time role and become a coach? Because again, I was telling these guys the other day, we are an interesting bunch, man. There's a lot of people that dream about becoming an entrepreneur or that wish they had the courage to follow their calling and become a coach.
Hmm.
But the academy, right? We're doing it. These guys, we're doing it. So tell us what inspired you to go after that.
Well, this is where we take a turn into more of a cautionary tale, which I think is important to share.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I coached on nights and weekends, so basically as a side hustle from 2018 to 2021. I did my Coach Academy coach training in 2018. Then, because of the stress of COVID, of working two jobs, I was typing and texting constantly. And then my stress outlet was yoga. So I was diagnosed with a repetitive overuse injury. My hand and wrist just stopped working one day. And so I had to take a 6-week medical leave of absence. And it took me about 48 hours, Betty, of away from screen time and away from the
Wow.
grind, where I was like, this is my body's way of telling me I know my soul's calling is to be a coach. Trying to burn the candle at both ends is not working. And unless I make a big change, this injury is going to get worse because that's what all the doctors were telling me too. So I did not do it in a
Huge.
strategic way like you would coach your clients to do. And so I share this because I don't want anyone else listening to this call to wait so long that your body finally pulls a big stop sign and says something has to change.
Oh, I just got the chills when you were sharing that. I mean, it's so true for so many people in so many different ways. And I'm going to mutilate the quote. Gosh, but it was something I heard somebody say something like, you know, choose your pain or your pain will choose you.
Ooh.
Choose your pain or your pain will choose you. And in this case, what I imagine it to mean is, here she is like, well, and by the way, like there's a happy medium as far as working the job and transitioning into coaching and being strategic, like Bethany mentioned. But when you're hanging on for too long, well, just one more year. 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 Right? Because why? We're hiding from the pain of the fear
Mhm.
of going out and doing something on our own. What if I fail? What if I don't make money? Right? So that's the pain we're kind of dodging. But then what happens? The pain chooses you. And whether that's a physical ailment, an emotional ailment, a mental ailment, all three, stress alone, burnout, we know leads to a ton. That was the number one thing my doctor last told me was stress at all costs, need to avoid. It's a big freaking deal. So I'm glad that you shared that with these guys because at some point you got to get off the wagon.
Mhm.
And if you don't have that, and again, just call me out if I'm going in my own little direction, my own little world. But if you don't map out your blueprint, like this is my freedom day, this is what I'm going to do to feel good about getting to that point, and then gone, then the pain's going to choose you, and then you didn't have a say in that. Really, does
Mhm.
that sound right?
Yes. And can I tell you about a synchronicity that was,
Tell.
see, I had been telling myself I will quit my day job once I get one corporate contract to feel some stability. I am not going to leap until I have something in my hand. Then I got the injury, put in my 2 weeks notice. I'm having all these like virtual coffee date, like goodbye dates with coworkers. And I said, well, I'm starting my coaching business full time. She goes, I wish you'd said something sooner. I used to share an office with the guy who organizes all the coaching and training programs for a US government bureau. I'd be happy to put you in touch. So we had a Skype call the next day. He hired me on the
Wow.
spot. They were desperate for like
Wow.
more rapidly hiring coaches. And so it wasn't until I told the universe and other people that I
Yes.
was available, then it came. So I also like sharing that
That's
if you've
so
been
good.
waiting and waiting and waiting for this angel investor, angel opportunity, it might not come until you finally free yourself. it
Yeah.
might not.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. The universe, we can't just expect the universe or God or the higher power or whatever you see to deliver things unless you A, have to ask for it, but then
Mhm.
B, you have to make space for it. You have
Yeah.
to show you take steps towards that thing. You have to,
Mhm.
yes, so Carol, allow the space. You
Yeah.
guys showing up for this workshop is a step towards making that space,
Yes.
right? People booking a discovery call is a step towards allowing that space. People joining the academy are making a step towards that space. And ultimately, once you pick your freedom day and you say, this is the day and I'm doing the thing, right? We are continuously, okay, sorry, another quote. It's like, I know I got to a point at one point where I finally said from now on, and for me, I was still in the corporate job and I just was feeling stressed, toxic, overwhelmed. I said, from now on, I'm only going to make decisions that move me closer to my calling, which is being a full time coach. And I don't care if it's a decision this big or a decision this big. From now on, when I'm faced with decisions, do I show up to the workshop? Do I not? Do I book the discovery call? Do I not? Do I work with the business coach? Do I not? Do I give notice? Do I not? I'm making decisions strategically moving me closer towards that dream, that North Star. And that's when you're telling the universe, I'm here. I got the space. I'm making the space.
Let's do this.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. Ooh, these are some nuggets, lady. Okay. So now that we've gotten into all the good stuff, let's bring it back down. No, I'm just kidding. We talked about during the workshop mitigating risk. That's what we talked about during the workshop. And I know you said, listen, I didn't do it the exact, mitigating all my risk. I kind of white knuckled it, hung on a little too long.
Mhm.
But that being said, some of the people here today are trying to do this transition in a way that is strategic, is mitigating risk, hoping to learn from some of the amazing lessons you're sharing. Any tips on, and I could put it like this. The question originally was tips on planning for your corporate to coach transition, but maybe the question is, if you could go back and do it over, what would you tell these guys about, planning for that strategic transition? What would that look like? What would you have done sooner or different or et cetera?
So one of the things I did to mitigate risk was as I was coaching for a side hustle for 3 years, every dollar I made from side hustle coaching went straight into a savings account, like Capital One savings account, maybe 3% interest. That was planning for my eventual financial cushion. So that was very helpful to have
Smart.
it saving for 3 years. And I sat down with my spouse. So I would recommend anyone who happens to be in a two-income household to sit down with that person and say, this is a goal I have out in the future. To help me get there faster, could we look at our dining out budget or all the streaming services? Where can we make quick and easy cuts? I'm not talking, move to a smaller house or anything drastic, but we started making those cutting the fat measures several years prior, like dining out. I'm not a foodie, so I don't really care. So we cut that out. So, and also with my job, the thing I was most scared to lose was my matching retirement, knowing that once you're on your own, nobody's contributing to your retirement fund where I can become a pickleball master in Florida one day. Working on it. So what I did was I negotiated with my employer to scale down to 4 days a week. And so that worked really well for me, I think, for the last 6 to 8 months. So it allowed me to get comfortable with having one full day to put on my entrepreneur hat and do my admin and my coaching calls. And that also helped me hang in there a little bit longer. And I don't regret doing that. That helped me a lot.
Smart.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't notice, I tend to attract a lot of type A, high performers, very hard on themselves type of people. So do some strategic, planning, like these are really good nuggets, right? The coaching income you were making while at the corporate job, you were pocketing that and putting into a savings account.
Mhm.
Boom. So you're not deducting that out of your corporate job. You're making this money coaching and putting into a savings account. So I'm repeating this stuff for you guys to write down in your notebook. You saved, what else did you say? You sat down with your spouse and looked at your budget and said, where can we trim the fat? And we talked about that the other day. So important. And to be on the same page if you have a family that you're sharing a budget with. Absolutely. And then, yeah, retirement too. When it comes to retirement, what a smart idea, negotiating with your work. And we kind of talked about that as part of the options for a bridge job. It's not like you said,
Mhm.
I quit, and you went out and said, I'm getting a bridge job. You were like, hey, listen, I love you guys. I love it here. I love you, boss, or whatever you said. But for XYZ reason, I'd like to go down to 4 days a week. That would make a huge difference for me, et cetera, et cetera. And then you were able to free up time for not only the coaching business, but for your mental and physical and spiritual and emotional health. What a
Yes.
smart idea to do that. And, I know the retirement we've talked about on this workshop too. I know that can be a scary thing for people. And once the coaching business is up and running, I mean, we're back to contributing to our retirement with the same kind of mathematical, like what we want it to look like to get to where it would go,
Yep.
that previously, was in my mind. So, you know, you can get there. You just have to be patient. And I'm sharing this with these guys. You just got to be patient to get the business up and running, to be consistent, and to get back to that place.
Yeah.
Um, but these are some great nuggets. I want to encourage you guys as I move on to the next question too. Maybe I'm just hitting it out of the park with the questions I'm asking Bethany here, but if you guys have a question for Bethany, by all means, drop it into the chat on how she made her transition. Let's move on and talk about, so we talked about what inspired you to move into coaching. When you made that decision, like, I'm doing this, I'm moving into coaching, I'm doing the thing, then you made a decision, I'm going to get help. I'm not going to throw spaghetti at the wall and figure it out myself. I'm going to join the academy. I'm going to work with Betty. And I know that's another decision. It's a hard decision for people to make. What was it about this program that appealed to you with other options out there? How do you make that kind of a decision?
Mm. This was very unlike me, Betty, because I'm very thorough.
Yes, I love it.
But you were even the only coach that I interviewed. I had been floundering for 6 months. Like, it was great to get that one contract in hand, but one contract does not a business make. It's
Mhm.
very important to be diversified in your clients. So I floundered for 6 months, woke up one morning, and I was like, this is stupid. I need a coach because I needed a structure, I needed a system, I needed accountability, and I wanted community because, yeah, I that's just how I learn.
Yeah.
So I went into LinkedIn and I said business, and I typed in business coach for women, and I read a lot through coaches' bios, and I loved your training videos the best, Betty. I thought it
Cool.
was so cool that you were on Forbes Coaches Council. I loved your website. I loved your approach, that it wasn't really sleazy, slimy. It all just felt like
I hope
it
not.
just, yeah, it just felt like, based on what Betty is describing, I could picture myself taking that step or that step. This all adds up to me. It did not feel like you were selling snake oil. And now I have like an 8-inch thick binder to prove
Hey, there
how
it
much
is.
information and tools and resources is in there. So I absolutely.
Let me get a look at that binder again. I love me a binder. How thick is that baby?
This is,
Woo!
look at all the tabs and highlights
I
and
love it.
like, it's obnoxious, like
I
how
love it
much
so
I love this
much.
thing. I graduated from
That's
Betty's
cool.
Academy 2.5 years ago. This is still pretty much on my desk of
Oh, that
how much
makes
I
me
still remember.
happy.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
Okay, so again, just reiterating lessons learned. So kind of swirling for 6 months. which a lot of us do, because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
When you're out there in the world, it's like, what do I do next, right? So, and I guess we didn't even really talk about it, but every month that you're floundering starts to feel like an opportunity cost again. Like, what could I have gotten done in this time? What
Yeah.
could I have done in this time? What could I have, all of these, not to, like, oh, shoot, if I don't make a decision tomorrow, I'll never become, no, but there's a sweet spot, right? You got to take a look at how long you've been kind of, what am I, when I get this, I'll do it. When I get this, I'll do it. When I get this, it ain't never going to be perfect. If you're waiting for things to be perfect until you get help, you're going to be waiting a very long time. And I learned that myself too with the coaches I've worked with. So you were looking for structure, system, community, accountability, all very important things. It is not just hiring a business coach. It's all the things that come along with that. I do find it interesting too. This is, not just about me, but you guys taking notes. So did you guys hear Bethany was searching for a business coach for women? And part of why I popped up is my social media profile is optimized.
Yes.
So you need to get your social media profile optimized. You need to get your social media profile. You being you guys, this is a part of what's really important when people find you. The free weekly training. So that's the other thing too. Give before there's any kind of an ask. Again, I do what I teach. And so it's cool to hear you kind of repeat this back, Bethany, because that's what we teach in this program, to do those things, optimize your profile, provide free training content. And then I think last but not least, yeah, that is really interesting, because you are a researcher. You're a lot like me. I mean, I'm a lunatic with researching, like who I'm going to like, everything. Let's be real. Everything I research. But at a certain point, especially as coaches, we have an intuition. We understand our own energy, and there's some kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Which is also why we don't just say to people, here's a button. Hey, it's not that. We need to first feel that there is some kind of a connection. So really super helpful tidbits there. Okay, let's take a look here. Charlotte, I'm negotiating a 3-day-a-week schedule. Ooh, I like it, Charlotte, with my current employer.
Good.
So I have my bridge job path outlined. Good for you, Charlotte. It concerns me that I will not effectively use my 2 days a week to cultivate my business. Okay, acknowledged, validated. Getting my board of advisors lined up makes sense to me to mitigate this risk. Charlotte, you are right on track, lady. Right on track. Now, Bethany, any thought there before I just rattle off my thoughts? Like I do?
I want you to go, and then I'll Jenga
Okay.
block on top of what you say. I love the question though.
I think it's smart of you, Charlotte. Well, first off, I'm like, hallelujah, that you are negotiating like Bethany is with your boss. Like, I love this. And I think you're smart to be concerned about effective use of those 2 days, because what do we say the other day? I don't know, Charlotte, if you were on that call or not, but we talked about how, like, once you start to create more time in your schedule, if you don't effectively plan for what you're going to do during that time, what happens is time like eats it up. It like eats up the free time, and you're like, where did that time go? I don't know. There was some other quote I read. I'm not a mother, but I read a quote that was like, who are the most effective, productive people? And it was like parents, busy working parents, because they don't have any time. They have this much time. So they're super, super effective with the time they have. So I bring that up to say, I agree with you, Charlotte. That's smart that you're like, I need to be really intentional with these 2 days. So absolutely. I mean, I guess what I would say to you high level, Charlotte, is, if you were one of my clients, one of the first things we would talk about is creating a CEO schedule for you on those 2 days, so that when Charlotte sits her butt down in the seat in front of her computer and is like, I'm a coach today, I'm working.
Mhm.
She's never wondering, oh, shoot, what do I do? What do I do? I've got like 50 things. Where do I start? Just like you guys, this is a blueprint this week of making this transition. There is a blueprint for building your coaching business and in the right order. So that's really your next step, Charlotte, is, whether or not you get those 2 days, I applaud you for the negotiating, but we need to create you a CEO schedule and get you accountability so that when you have those 2 days, you are, and by the way, that includes scheduling in downtime and time with your family and all those other things so that it's not all work and no play.
Yes, I still
Bethany?
have your CEO schedule posted right
Hey,
on my wall right there. So it's a very, very helpful template to use in terms of how to structure time.
love it. Love it. Yeah, that was a big piece of the academy, that CEO schedule. Too many programs out there, in my opinion, throw information at you, but they don't structure it in a way that systematically, step by step, makes sense. People either love or hate my style, I think. I'm very sequential, I'm very step by step. If you like that, I'm your girl. If you want to dance in the wind, I may not be your girl. I don't know. But I do things step by step so that you can dance in the wind. I
Mhm.
like to dance in the wind. I don't even know what that means. I just made it up. But I like to have free time. So I need to be structured with the time I have so I can go live a life,
Mhm.
make use of the things that matter. Carol says, me too. Airbnb, are you a planner? I dig deep. Yes, she digs deep. Charlotte, the CEO schedule. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Charlotte, that's one of the core pieces of the academy. And Charlotte, if you haven't already, book a discovery call and we'll talk to you about what a CEO schedule entails. Make sure you book the call. Jason, you hopped on late, but you're here, my friend. Did I miss a sales page? Well, not now. There, Heather just dropped it in there for you. Boom. There it is. The girls got your back. Okay. And then, yeah, maybe if Heather or Tabitha, you guys could also drop in for both Jason, Charlotte, and everybody the link to book a call. Okay, next, because I promised Bethany I wouldn't keep her on all night. I made that promise. Let's talk about, you've done some amazing things with your business. And we know it's not all about the money. There's so much more to it. Bethany, of all people, I know is one of those people that this is her calling, that this is what she was meant to do. But I also, on the flip side, don't want any of you here today. I'm doing this with all the people I see on my Zoom screen. I don't want anyone feeling guilty about the money part.
Right.
Don't
We
feel,
need money to travel and live a life,
yeah,
eat.
yes. Okay. Every job you've ever had has paid you money. It's okay to have financial goals. And Bethany has really found the beautiful sweet spot between all these things. She has done some amazing things with her business. She's had back to back 14K months. I felt like every time we talked, she had a new thing to tell me. I talked to her again after the 14K months and she's like, oh, I had a 25K month. I was like, girl, every time I talk to you. So tell us, I've been telling these guys about the 5 C's of building the corporate to coach, business. Choose your niche, create the package, curtains up, launch your brand, client attraction system, close the deal. What elements of the academy in particular, and maybe not just the method, but the parts, right? The people, the team, the portal, I don't know. What were the parts that helped you the most
Hmm.
in having that kind of success?
I will go in sequential order in honor of you, Betty. So number one, the formula that you provide to make your discovery calls convert, convert, convert. I am pretty much the same coach I was 5 years ago, just in terms of the way I show up. Like I'm a good coach and I can deliver results, right? But the way that I run a discovery call now versus when I started, I have a 80% conversion rate versus 25.
Woo!
So you just gave me the golden ticket of how to walk through the value that I offer, be transparent in my pricing and why it's priced that way, valued at, et cetera. All of this is in a worksheet. Everything I'm going to mention in the next 2 minutes, Betty has a worksheet for you. So, and you taught me how to pre-screen my discovery calls. So I'm not doing discovery calls with cousin Ronald who doesn't have a dollar to his name and is not a
Bless from
qualified,
good old
right? Like
Ronald.
bless him, but like so I make people apply
Yeah.
for a discovery call. So I'm only spending time on people who are pre-qualified. So number one, that was such a game changer on discovery calls being amazing. Number two, LinkedIn profile update for the exact reasons that I became one of your clients. Once I was optimized, people found me easier and I was booking more discovery calls. And I also just felt more proud about having a polished storefront. Your virtual storefront is your LinkedIn and your website. So a friend would be like, hey, I know an executive coach who's looking for partners on a big proposal. Instead of sliding them my LinkedIn link, being like, oh my God, I haven't updated this in 3
Yeah.
years, I felt proud about like, yes, here's my LinkedIn. Look at my beautiful graphics and my just this polished presentation. So LinkedIn profile was amazing. And three, the scripts that you gave us to interview ideal client avatars. I did 12 or 13 ideal client interviews, and you gave me perfect questions to get right to the core of what pain are you feeling. So I knew exactly how to structure my package. And also, what is your dream? Like, why do you want to overcome burnout? And I extracted all the key trends from those 12-ish interviews. And they basically wrote my website copy for me. They wrote my LinkedIn posts for me. They still write my social media content for me. So, Betty, you took the guesswork out of every single building block of a business. And it was like doing a paint by numbers.
Cool.
It was so helpful. And I loved it.
Oh my gosh. You share something new with me every time I talk to you. I'm learning things here. I'm like, yeah, we did that, didn't we? But you did that. That's why I didn't know about your conversion rate jump. You said
Yeah.
your conversion rate jumped to 85% from
Yeah.
what?
From like probably 25%, the way you
Woo-wee. So for those
it
of
was
you who are like, we don't speak that language yet, which no shame. We're talking about when you run a call, what's your conversion rate with that person ending up becoming a client? So she's saying prior to working with me, 1 out of 4 people or 25%, which ain't bad, would convert. And then after working with me, I have a script that not only I'm like, here's a script, but I help you guys customize the script. We
Yeah.
practice the script. We do, feedback on the script. She upped her conversion rate to 85% of people booking discovery calls. That's like mine.
Yeah.
I'll be dreaming about that tonight. All the things business coaches are excited about. I love that. Learning how to pre-qualify people. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, for you guys, Bethany knows this. It doesn't just mean pre-qualify, financial pre-qualify. That's not the only pre-qualify. You need to
Yeah.
make sure that people want to achieve an outcome that is within your scope. You
Yes.
need to make sure that it's a human being you want to work with. I've had people that have joined plenty of, discovery call or workshop, and just something, it wasn't nothing that it's like the vibe wasn't right. There was something off. And we don't let everybody into our academy. It is our, we have to do that, not just for us, but for our fellow members who are, we respect. And so yeah, pre-qualifying people, you don't want to start working with someone and 6 months later you're like, woof, that was rough. Like, well, why did I leave my corporate job?
Mm.
It's important to find the right people. So yeah, that piece of it, absolutely. Bethany mentioned the profile optimization on LinkedIn. Yes, exactly how she found me. People are finding her. And
Mhm.
and that not only, like she said, it boosts your confidence, right? This is something that you can, yes, that's me. That's what I do. That's what I offer, right? There's some confidence building there. And the ICA, you guys were there when we talked about ideal client avatar surveys. Give you guys kind of like the high level of it, but in the academy, there's a page of questions
Mhm.
where there's kind of different ways that you come at the pain, the problem, and there's different ways that you come at the dream, the goal. because a lot of times when you're doing these surveys, people will give you a flat answer. So you have to kind of ask around that answer. And that's kind of part of what Bethany's talking about with those scripts. And to her point, the fact that she dove in and did 15 of those scripts, that's the golden ticket. She, like she said, she had the answer to, she went to, the website, all the words and phrases she needed were right there from her ICA interviews website. She goes to write a social media post. Everything she needs to think about writing about is right on her ICA. Because not only do I have my clients do these surveys, I do something else. I have them fill out a trend sheet where you take all the trends and you synthesize the pain, the dream, the goals. So I love it so much, Bethany. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope you guys are writing this down. What's been the best part about running your own coaching business? What's been the best part?
The freedom and the flexibility, to be honest. I work about 30 hours a week and I make a good living and I do work that I love. I have not attended an all hands meeting. I have not done like all the things that are just soul draining from working. I've not filled out a timesheet. I have not done the things that I don't believe in. So I get to handpick who I work with. And when I work with them, I set my own hours. I've taken a vacation every month this year so far. We're in March and I've got one booked for April. It just feels like such a privilege.
We need to be in a challenge, you and I together, Beth. I hereby, and wait till Ryan hears. I want to be in a challenge. Who's going to take more vacations, because we are behind. We are way behind. We got to get out there, lady. Rachel says, "Oh my gosh, dream to not do a timesheet anymore." Yes, amen. Go on, Bethany. What else? Was that it?
I also love staying in touch with all the other folks from the Coach Academy.
Yeah.
We have like a text thread. And so I just love being part of a community and still having the business I want. I get the best of both worlds, really. So
yeah. And this is pretty cool too. I'm gonna tell you this, Bethany. This is the first time I've mentioned this. And it will affect you guys watching, for those of you who end up joining the Academy. I am going to be creating a free alumni quarterly meet. Virtual, well, I wish in person, but it'll be virtual meet, and it'll be part training, and I'm gonna probably survey you guys. And if not, I'll be really updating you guys on the latest trends, updates, things that you should be thinking about since we've last touched base, and then just let you guys have a little networking, it's been a hot minute. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking for ways to stay connected. And like Bethany says, you will stay connected. It's a very close-knit group, but I've been pondering, like, how can I keep these guys? I want to be, making sure we all stay in touch. So
yay.
Drop that little hint, and I'll tell you more about that later. Any advice for people on the fence, not sure if they should join the Corporate to Six for Your Coach Academy, maybe scared? It can feel scary to make an investment in yourself. It can feel scary to make an investment in your dream.
Yeah. I would just ask, what is it costing you at this rate? Every day you go by feeling frustrated or without a system, without a structure, without an accountability. What is it costing you right now doing what you're doing? And how do you want to answer that question in 6 months? Because yes, this is an investment, but the mental weight that this took off my shoulders of trying to self-teach, like trying to figure out social selling on my own, was weighing on me, and it was so draining to my energy, versus making an investment, joining a community where everything was hand fed to me of like, do this first, then do this, then do this, then do this. And you have people helping you write copy. You have people checking deliverables. So how is it going toiling alone in your own home office versus what you have to gain through this community? It's a big decision, but I think you're worth it.
I love that, Bethany. Yeah, I mean, you guys like the way I acknowledge and validate. Instead of just actually acknowledging, validating, I'll say acknowledged, validated. But But for real, it very powerful, some of the stuff you said. And Bethany, you know, both of us are very transparent humans. I'd say most of the
Yeah.
people in our program are like that. We've got some amazing people, amazing coaches in this program. And, you know, so she's being vulnerable, sharing with you guys about that 6 month kind of like, you know, like this is hard to do on myself. So that's a good question for y'all to answer for yourself. You know, action item is, you know, what's the opportunity cost? What's it costing me right now to do this on my own? And like Bethany said, only you can answer that. Only
Mhm.
you can answer that. But there's definitely, this can, being an entrepreneur, it's the best of times. I'm not going to say it's the worst of times. I don't know why I'm on a quote like tangent tonight. This is my last quote, I promise. But I always say my hardest day as an entrepreneur is still better than my best day in the corporate world. Sorry.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
sorry, not sorry. But my point is, yeah, what's it costing you? It can be lonely to do this work by yourself
Mhm.
without a community, to go from, you know, a community of people to, now I'm an introvert. So part of me is kind of like an introvert in my office, but you still want to have that community of people who gets you,
Yeah.
who gets your pain, who gets your struggles, who gets your dreams, who gets your goals, and you know, a board of business experts who are going to hold your hand and say, "We're not going to let you fail. We're going to hold you."
Mhm.
Um, so, anyways, I'm getting the chills again. That's always a good sign. Where can people find you, Bethany, if they want to get a hold of you? Tell us. Oh, Bethany, where can people? Maybe you guys know someone that could use her help. Maybe I don't know what you'd like to connect with Bethany. Tell us.
I just dropped my website in the chat.
Beautiful.
It's just BethanyO'Connor.com. All one word, all lowercase. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Bethany O'Connor, and I'm based in Colorado.
Oh,
So thank you
and
so
I'm
much for
and I
inviting
miss you there too. You know, I
me.
feel like I just moved out of Colorado before you and I actually got
I
to like
know.
touch fingers or something. So you got to come
Just
out for our next in-person event in Tampa. That
I,
would, honestly, I'm serious. I would love to see free ticket, and it's included with the academy as well. So would love to see you out here. The group, yeah, you guys show Bethany some love for being here. And Bethany, I'm going to stick around with the group, wrap things up. But I'm going to let you go, lovely. And I thank you again. The group thanks you. And guys, stay on the call here. We're going to wrap a couple things up before we hop off, and I'm going to announce the winner of the planner. Thank you, Bethany.
Bye. You're welcome. Enjoy the weekend.
You too, lady. Ah, that's just so fun for me. Hopefully for you guys. I feel like I'm just like connecting with an old friend here, but I truly hope, I was trying to kind of repeat some of the stuff she was saying, that in my head, I'm like, this is the stuff you guys need to know when you're doing this transition. So again, couple call outs that I want to make. I'm going to announce the full focus planner winner. They are here on this call now. So stick on the call for a couple more minutes so that you can redeem your prize. I hope that you guys got something out of that, because Bethany has a lot of words of wisdom, and she's a great gal. I wholeheartedly recommend you to connect with her. We over here on this end are waiting with open arms to welcome you to our Academy family. Tabitha, one more time for good measure. And Heather, if you could drop people the link to the Academy, and also the link for people to book a call. Now is your last chance today, tonight, this week, to book a call with us. You know, at minimum, I want you to leave this week not what ifing, you know, what should I have done? What if? At least on the call, you can learn all there is about the Academy. You can identify, are we a fit? Maybe you'll decide, not a fit. That's fine. But I at least want you to have that information. And then from there, we can go through the different packages, the different price points, etc. Carol, you are so welcome. And yeah, I stick around. And Saturday, side note, tomorrow's going to be a big day. And we're doing tomorrow. Please write this down too. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, because I want you to be able to get out and enjoy the weekend. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, meaning it's our rapid fire Q&A questions. So if you've asked a question so far, rest assured, I'm answering all questions tomorrow. If you still have a question that you want answered, now is the time to drop it in the chat, drop it in the Facebook group, DM your bootcamp concierge, because Tabitha's gathering all those questions and I'm going to be doing a rapid fire Q&A. I mean, shoot, I'll even talk to you about your niche. Your question can be anything coaching business related. Okay, so the reminder is you have until Tuesday to book your call. You have until Tuesday to book your call. Let's slide this puppy out a little bit, share my screen. Tuesday to book your call. But you do, if you're going to book, you might as well be one of the first 5 to book. And again, it's not just the first 5 to book, it's also the first 5 to join. So I'm telling you, this is still available, but with the calls coming in, potentially this could go soon. So if you're on the fence, I wouldn't wait till Tuesday. I'd book the call now, get the call done, and then you can make your decision before this comes off the table. Okay. Bonus 1, 1,000 to 3,000 off. Bonus 2, first 5 people to join, to book their call, and then to join, we'll get a private 60-minute deep dive strategy session with me. I will be doing a comprehensive strategy on where I want you to focus first to hit your 6-figure milestone. You'll give that valued at 1,500. Private 60-minute deep dive training session with our social selling expert. I told you that if you don't know how to social sell in 2024, it's going to be a rough year for attracting clients without knowing the right way to outreach. And the right way to outreach is social selling. Social selling is actually building relationships with people in the chat. And it's a skill. And anyone can learn the skill, but it is a skill and it has to be learned. So you're going to get a private call for an hour where our social selling expert is going to customize your outreach script for you. That's a big deal so that when you're outreaching to your niche, it makes sense. Bonus 3, you guys heard Bethany talk about her profile being optimized as a part of how she attracted clients and had back-to-back 14K months, 25K months. You know, this was a piece of the puzzle. This was a piece of the puzzle. This is how they found her, if she had this optimized profile. So this only comes as a bonus if you're the first people to book a call by Tuesday. So get your call in by Tuesday. 30-day Voxer access to me is bonus number 4. So you're going to feel totally connected to me within your first 30 days of the program. And bonus 5, if you pay in full, you get a ticket to a half-a-day cash injection workshop. So those are the reminders here. And again, if you have any questions that you want answered on tomorrow's very, very important Q&A, that's where I want to make sure you guys are leaving with all your questions answered. There's still time to drop in your questions. And even if you don't have questions, to be honest with you, show up for the call. Show up for the call tomorrow, because some of our best learning will come when people have, the same link, the same Zoom link, Carol. Some of our best learnings come when people ask questions, other people ask questions. And you're like, ooh, that was a good question. So I encourage all of you guys to show up. Congratulations to those who are, I see calls coming in, people booking their discovery calls. Commit, have courage, follow through, take action. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you start. If you're in corporate and you haven't done anything with your coaching business yet, this is the program for you. Most of my clients are starting from scratch. I'm super, super excited because those of you who are joining the Academy, we will immediately, if you're one of the first 5, schedule your private strategy session with me. So that's going straight on the calendar. And the kickoff group coaching session will take place next week. We're literally hitting the ground running. So buckle up, baby. Your workbook. I do want to make sure you guys have your workbook with you tomorrow to take extra notes for the rapid fire Q&A. You've done such important work this week on your coaching business. You guys, your coaching business is so much bigger than you. It's bigger than you. I hope you realize that. You have the potential to make a massive difference in other humans' lives, to make a global impact. And it all starts here with the Corporate to 6-Figure Coach Academy. I'm handing you the keys to the kingdom. I challenge you. I was telling Bethany I was making a vacation challenge with her. I'm gonna have to let my partner know out there. We're going on vacation. I challenge you to make that one empowered decision to change your business and life. And that's what it is. It's an empowered decision to change your business and life, to say yes to yourself, to say yes to your future, to say yes to your dream, your calling of building a coaching business. This is hard work, but it's work that works. Everything's waiting for you on the other side. Make sure you book the discovery call. If you're on the fence, book the call before Tuesday. So at minimum, you can be in the running for the first 5 people. The discovery call is a short exploratory call. It's a get to know you call. Are we a fit? And then you're asking us questions and we're asking you questions, and we're getting off the call, learning about each other and making sure that we have all our questions answered. If on the call we determine that you're a good fit for the program, we will then go over the different options with you and the pricing options. This is an investment. This is an investment, okay? For some of you, this investment will potentially have you prioritizing where you spend your money this year. I went through the same thing hiring my own business coaches over time. And by the way, I'm never without a business coach, ever. There were times in the past where I had just started coaching. And yeah, that was the year that I decided, I go on international vacations every year. And, that was the year where I was like, let me take a pause. I'm not going to buy the upgraded car this year or whatever, fill in the blank was the short-term pleasure. And you guys, it was so interesting. I thought about it. I'm like, these are all the short-term pleasures I'm doing to make myself feel better about feeling like crud in a job I hate, so that I'm using the money on some kind of short-term fix, right? I'm throwing the money at the short-term fix. So I reprioritized that 1 year where I put my funds and I put it into an investment in myself, in my business, where I knew that I'd have an ROI versus, I was a vacation queen. I would go on these vacations where as soon as I got home, going right back to the toxic corporate job. Whereas you see Bethany's like, woo, she gets to go home and coach. It's a different vibe. Rest assured. So, and I hope you guys get this too. Once your coaching business is up and running, you go back to your vacations and your spa and whatever, other pleasure purchases that there are. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a reprioritizing of funds based on your goals, your values, and what you want to achieve, at the time you're trying to achieve them. So it's a question you have to answer for yourself. Where do I want to prioritize my spending this year? What is aligned with my long-term goals, visions, and values? Where am I going to get the ROI? All right. Last and not least, before I announce the full focus planner, is the reminder about what's included. We won't go wild here, but just a high level of what's included in the Academy. Come on, computer. Here it is. Here she is. I know that girl. The Academy has part people, part digital component. You guys are not hiring a business coach. That's not what's going on here. Yes, I'm going to work with you as your business coach. I'm going to give you business coaching and marketing expertise. I'll be taking you by the hand. I'll be hot seat coaching you all month. I'll be working with you in between calls. Yes, I'll be your business coach, but you're hiring a success squad. Bethany talked about a community of people, and that is important. Your success coach is going to be working with you privately all throughout the year. Why? Why are they helping you privately? Because they're going to hold you accountable to implementing, right? They're going to make sure that you're tracking to your 30-day goals. We have a very structured 30-day goal. Charlotte talked about, oh, shoot, if I get these 2 days, I got to make them count. We're going to have a 30-day goal spreadsheet where we will break apart week by week, day by day, so you know exactly what to be working on every day, every week, every month. Okay. And that's what your success coach is going to work on with you. Your copy coach is a rock star. And I'm not just saying that. Some of you from IPEC, once you meet her, are going to be like, yes, I know you, because she is such a rock star in the IPEC world. She's got over 10 years as a coach and business coach, 15 plus years copywriting and marketing. And she's just incredible. You have a money mindset coach, another yet incredible coach. People have gotten off those calls emotional, moved, transformed. She's going to help you get out of your own head. talking yourself out of achieving your dreams and, oh, I can't sell at that price and I can't replace my corporate income, right? She's that's what this you can't I can't just give you a strategy. We got to work from the inside out, and that's why there's a mindset component. We're going to put you in a peer accountability pod. You're going to get incredibly close to these humans, a handful of humans who are at the same point in the program you are. I'm going to have an agenda that you will follow to deepen your mastery of business concepts and hold each other accountable. And as I mentioned before, our in-person event in Tampa is going to be incredible. We held it before. We're actually, this is kind of cool. We started it as a one-day event, and we are going to be changing it to a two-day event. So that's something cool and included in your membership. So it'll be part networking, part teaching. I'll be teaching you, and part hot seat coaching. When you join, the second you submit payment, you will get access to the on-demand learning centers. Every module has a video. Every module has worksheets. Every lesson within the module has a video. You will get your very own website build if you should choose. Okay, that's something I have never seen in an academy before. A website build. You don't have to go out and find a website designer and hire the designer and figure out the templates. We're doing it with you, for you. We've got the website build. We've got the website copy templates. We're going to help you customize the copy. We're going to edit your copy. And then it's literally a copy paste into our template and then hit launch. We have every single tool that you could possibly need within our on-demand learning center, including social media graphics for coaches. You can work with me one-on-one or group. I mentioned before, I only have a handful of one-on-one spots left. You will have access to us in between sessions for any questions that you may have or any support you may need. And I think we'll leave it there. I think you guys got the gist of it here. Let me announce the winner for the Full Focus Planner. I swear one day I'm going to become their ambassador. One day, one of these days, because I am pumping them up all the gosh darn time because I love this planner so much. The winner of the Full Focus Planner. Drum roll, please. Cue the fireworks. It's Charlotte. Woo! Charlotte, Charlotte, Charlotte. I got to get a drum. Cue the drum roll. There's no drum. Congratulations, Charlotte. Rachel, you haven't had a vacation since 2018. Girl, we got to go on a vacation together. Join the academy and come out to Tampa, St. Pete. Stay a little bit longer. Congratulations, Charlotte. So Charlotte, Heather will likely be reaching out to you. Heather or Tabitha, one of them, to get your address. And we will be sending you the Full Focus Planner. And the planner comes with a link to a video training series, and you will be locked and loaded to setting up your quarter for the upcoming quarter. And then, Charlotte, if you end up joining the academy, I'm going to have to get you an additional gift on top of that, because I get all my members Full Focus Academies when they join. Or you may love the Full Focus Planner so much, you'll be like, Betty, get me two. I want one for 2 quarters. So I'll let you choose that. She bought. Hey, good for you, Charlotte. Good for you, lady. All right, y'all. Tomorrow, big day, Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Q&A, questions, anything to do with coaching business, anything to do with Danae, just Google Full Focus Planner. It's by Michael Hyatt. It's by Michael Hyatt. Yeah, just Google it. If you have any question, niche, coaching package, client attraction, anything about the academy, literally anything, I'm answering it tomorrow. Even if you're like, I don't have a question, show up. You're going to learn something, okay? So we're going to get into it tomorrow. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Big hugs, lots of love, anabolic energy. Enjoy your Friday night. And I'll see you Saturday, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Bye, guys.